everybody, welcome back to this episode of Curiosity Cooks. Today we got a fun recipe for you. We're making Chipotle chicken bowls. Easy recipe, but a lot of moving pieces, as you guys can see here. So I'm gonna break it down piece by piece on what ingredients we're doing. So first things first, we're gonna marinate our chicken. We've got boneless, skinless chicken thighs. We've got some Chipotle Tabasco and Cholula Hot Sauce. I know a lot of people use adobo peppers, and I have heard so many recipes and seen so many recipes where they say there is no substitution for that. So I'm here today to give you a substitution for that. And then once we've got our chicken marinated, we're gonna make a cilantro-lime rice. We're going to have some black bean corn salsa. We're gonna make some fajitas. And then of course, guacamole and salsa. I've got some homemade salsa that I made, I think like 3-4 days ago. If you guys want that recipe, feel free to let me know in the comments below. And for our guac, we're gonna use some jalapeno, cilantro, tomato, and obviously avocado and lime. So if you guys like what you see here, which you definitely will, this is gonna be delicious. Please make sure you subscribe, comment, hit that like button, hit that bell icon below. Let's get started. All right, so step one, we're gonna marinate our Chipotle chicken. So like I said, we've got our 1 pound of boneless, skinless chicken thighs here. And then what we're going to use is 4 tablespoons of Tabasco Chipotle, or about half a bottle. There we go. And then about half a bottle of Cholula. You want about 3 tablespoons in here of your Cholula. This is gonna create the foundation of flavor for this chicken. And then we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of Cayenne Pepper. If you guys like it a little bit less on the spicy side, I would just go with 1 tablespoon. I like a little bit of heat to my food, so I'm gonna use 2. We're gonna do 1 tablespoon of oregano. We're just gonna shake it in. Like I said, about 1 tablespoon. And then a teaspoon of salt, or salt to taste. And the last, and one of the most important things in here, is our garlic. I'm taking 2 cloves for our pound. We're gonna do a little mash, and then we're gonna mince this up. You wanna go thin slices, as thin as you can get. Watch your fingers while you're chopping. Turn everything around. And once you've got it diced up pretty well, you're gonna put your hand on the other side and you're just gonna rock. Rock until you get the right consistency on your garlic. You want it to be almost like a paste form once it's done getting minced up. And then right back into it. Beautiful. Garlic in. Just like that. Then we're gonna give it a little mix. Get in there, use your hands, use tongs if you'd like, but I always prefer to use my hands because the chicken's gotta feel the love in order to taste the love once you're eating it. So we're gonna get in here, we're gonna give it a nice little mix, and then you're gonna cover this with some cling wrap, throw it in the fridge, ideally for 2 hours minimum to marinate, but ideally overnight. And lucky for you guys, I actually went ahead and marinated some last night. So we'll flip back to that and be right back. All right, so our chicken has marinated, put in a plastic bag last night. Oh, that smells delicious. So to cook our chicken, I'm gonna use a cast iron skillet. We're gonna get that going, let that preheat, and we're gonna add some avocado oil, just enough to coat the bottom. And while that preheats, we're gonna go ahead and get our cilantro-lime rice together. Just wanna make sure you get a fork so that you're fluffing your rice correctly. We're gonna roll out our lime. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons, so about 1 whole lime of lime juice. Then we're gonna mince up some cilantro. When you're cutting cilantro, you want to bunch everything together and then take your knife on one side and just chop it up nice and fine. Every inch or so, couple inches, you just want to regather that cilantro, gather it back up, cut again. I'm putting about 2 to 3 tablespoons of cilantro in this rice. We're gonna add that in here. That is all set. We're gonna put that aside for later, and we're gonna check on how hot our cast iron skillet is. Looking pretty good. We're gonna turn our heat to medium, and we're gonna get our chicken going. Next, we're gonna do 2 of our other important ingredients. We're gonna get our fajitas going and our guacamole. So make sure we get everything we need here. Our fajitas, I've got a little bit of olive oil preheating over here in another pan. And for our fajitas, I chopped up 1/2 of a red onion, 1/2 of a red bell pepper, and a full green bell pepper. Just for the color, makes it look vibrant and beautiful. And once you've got your oil hot enough, we're gonna go ahead and add that all in. Hear that nice, beautiful sizzle. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, I don't think we have enough onion. So I'm gonna chop up a little bit of white onion real quick as well. And I'm gonna throw that in there. So I'm throwing an extra about 1/4 of a white onion. We're gonna let all that mix up in here. Give everything a nice little toss. Once the size of these fajitas have reduced by about 50%, we're gonna add our seasonings. And our seasonings today are just a little bit of roasted garlic. We're doing about 3 tablespoons of roasted garlic. Then we're going 2 tablespoons of Marj Oram. And 1 tablespoon of oregano. We're gonna give our fajitas a good little mix. Make sure all that seasoning's in there. And as your onions start to get translucent and beautiful, you're gonna start to smell the aroma of those spices. Put that right back on the heat. Give it a few minutes. And in the meantime, we're gonna check on our chicken. All right, so we got our guacamole all mixed up. Now, our chicken is resting. As that rests, we're gonna work on the last little thing, which is our little corn and black bean combo salsa here. So we're gonna take an empty bowl. I'm gonna put in about a handful of corn, mixed with 2 handfuls of black beans, just canned beans. I went ahead and strained these ahead of time. And in here, we're gonna add in the rest of that chopped jalapeno, the rest of our tomato, and all the details and ingredients are gonna be in the link below, as always. And we're gonna add in just a handful of onion, probably about 1/8 of an onion. I know that's a very specific measurement, but as much as you like. And we're gonna take it, we're gonna give it a good mix. That is all she wrote. It looks nice and beautiful. We're ready to start finalizing things. So we'll get back to the next step in just a sec. Okay, now we got on a little assembly line of everything we've gotten done so far. Our last 2 steps are to chop up the lettuce and chop up the chicken. I'm gonna go ahead and I've got 3 leaves of romaine, and we're gonna make this more of like a chipotle salad than a chipotle rice bowl. Obviously there's gonna be some rice in there too. This is super simple. We're just gonna chop it right down the middle, make some nice, pretty strands of lettuce. And once you get to the really crunchy part, we're just gonna toss that. As you can see, we've got a nice color and crust on these guys. It's nice and beautiful. We're gonna chop. Still juicy. You can see everything coming out of it. perfect amount of cook through. Chopping it into cubes, as you guys can see here. So now that we've got our chicken all cubed up, I'm gonna take a little taste. That is delicious. Oh, it's got all the right flavor, nice and juicy. We're gonna start assembling our bowl. So we're gonna start with some rice. Not too much, trying to avoid too much rice in this, but enough to coat the bottom of our bowl here. Then we're gonna get some of our fajitas in here. Wonderful. We're gonna do a little bit of our bean and corn salsa. Some chorizo. We're gonna just put that right on top. That's gonna add so much flavor when we mix it all up. And then we're gonna add in our Chipotle chicken. We're just gonna use all of it. And this is about a ½ pound that we actually ended up cooking up here. And then our last little bit, we're gonna add all of our shredded lettuce. We're gonna make it look pretty on top, right there. And some guacamole on top. I'm actually gonna transfer this to another bowl so we can make it look pretty for you guys. All right, now we are all set with our final product, our salad. We're gonna go ahead and get a bite in here. I wanna make sure I get some lettuce. I'm gonna get down into this rice, make sure I get a little bit of everything and some guac on top. Before I take this bite, I want to see you guys hit that like button, subscribe, bell icon, and let's get into it. That is delicious. I think I could have used a little bit more lemon in my guacamole, to be honest, but everything tastes great in here. Very good. And that's a Chipotle bowl for meal prep. If you guys like what you saw here, make sure you like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know your favorite ingredients that you like to put in your Chipotle bowls. Thanks for coming through. And that's a wrap.